Welcome back. Well, we just heard from Vice President J.D. Vance about the path forward in Gaza as the first phase of President Trump's peace plan is in effect. For a reaction now to this historic agreement, we bring in Democrat Senator from Pennsylvania, John Fetterman, who has been a longtime staunch supporter of Israel. Senator, good to see you this morning. Thanks so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me back.
What is your reaction to this peace plan and these expectations that the hostages will begin to come home tomorrow?
Absolute elation. I mean, how can't we all celebrate this thing? I mean, you've had human beings held underground for over 2 years and tortured and beaten and starved, forced to dig their own graves and things. Now they can finally come back home. And now everyone should be celebrating these things. And clearly the Palestinians are, and people in Israel are too. And now there are people in our nation, some of those aren't really celebrating or even acknowledging a thing. And that's part of the truth there too. It really was never about peace. It was more about an anti-Israel agenda. And now why can't we all, whatever, where you are politically, this is a huge development. And this terrible, awful war is going to come to an end. And now you can rebuild Gaza, and these families are now reunited. That's a big thing, and it's a strange time if you can't celebrate this.
Yeah, and I saw your tweet, congratulating President Trump on this incredible moment in time. It really is a head scratcher, as you see some people just refusing to acknowledge what an incredible moment this is after this 2 years.
I agree. It's like I even said that in my tweet. It's like, yeah, our party's different, but this is a big, huge win for peace in this world, and it's entirely appropriate to do that. And if you're not willing to acknowledge that, you're ironically pointing out the absurdity and making it more personal when we can't all celebrate this peace after this awful war after 2 years.
Yes, of course. And I feel like that sentiment also applies to the government shutdown, because with the government shutdown, you are talking about fighting about Obamacare subsidies that are going to expire at the end of the year. But you're seeing a real impact. We're worried that people are not going to get paid on October 15th and on October 20th. Is this all political as well? Because remember what Senator Schumer said just this week. Watch this.
Yeah. Each day, our case to fix health care and end the shutdown gets better and better, stronger and stronger, because families are opening their letters, showing how high their premiums will climb if Republicans get their way. They're seeing why this fight matters. It's about protecting their health care, their bank accounts, their futures.
Senator, how is it possible that a government shutdown where we're questioning if our military is going to get paid is getting better and better for the Democrats?
Well, for me, it's a hard rule. It's like I can't ever or will ever vote to shut our government down. It was wrong if the Republicans did these things. And I led that charge back in March saying it's wrong to shut us down. And we kept it open. And now we are. And now I've said then back in March that when September comes, I'm going to be the one guy that's saying it's wrong to do this. It's really the losers. The losers are these poor Americans here that are going to get caught in the middle of this thing. Now, I fully support, let's have a conversation to extending those tax credits. I think a lot of Republicans might even agree with that, too. That's a priority for us, and they might agree. But, let's have our government open and have that conversation so people can get paid. And we can't have this kinds of chaos.
Well, it seems to me that this is going to go on at least another week. I was told that the leadership, Chuck Schumer and others, want to make sure to be able to get up at that No Kings rally and say, we're fighting Trump. I mean, is that what this is about?
I'm really not sure. It's what's really part of it more than, it's not about who's losing or who's getting more of the blame or anything. For me, what I really cares about is it's a core responsibility for me as a U.S. Senator to vote to make sure and keep our government open. And then we can figure out all these other priorities. That's democracy. That's democracy. Shutting our government down, that's the wrong message for the world, for Americans as well, too. I don't care whose that blame is. It's not about a blame game. It's about open this government, have this conversation, and really let's address these kinds of healthcare issues as well, too.
And you've led with that independence throughout, trying to represent the people of Pennsylvania and America. How do we reopen this government? Do you see a catalyst that gets them back to the table to reopen? What's your sense?
Oh, it is going to be difficult, because then I think there's people perhaps on both sides are putting party in front of country. And for me, my vote has been, it's like, hey, and now I understand, my party may want to shut our government down. That's like, I'll be a Democrat saying, hey, that's wrong. Just like we all agreed it was wrong when the Republicans were going to shut it down. Like I have that core kinds of ideal, and I'm not going to violate it. That's why I'm choosing country over party on this. And I know what might be more popular with parts of my base, but I think it's wrong for this nation.
So you were one of only 2 Democrats that actually voted with the Republicans to keep the government open, and one independent alongside the both of you. Is it surprising to you that John Thune and his colleagues on the right can't find 5 more yes votes in the Democrat Party?
Well, I announced when it shut down, I said it's a sad day for our nation. This isn't my government. It's not the Republicans' government. It's the American government. And that's why they all should be open. And now we have different priorities. That's the essence of democracy. And this was an election and put us in the respective situations that we're in. That's part of a conversation that must happen when our government is open. And now turning it into like a really bad, sorry kind of it's not entertaining. It's not about blame and these things. It's about governance. That's the essence of our responsibility.
Do you believe this is a national security threat right now? I mean, I keep asking, when does this become a national security threat? What's your take? Well,
why even let's take the risk of finding out?
Right.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's just silly. It's such small. It's a small thing. And now in the middle of, we have this amazing development about the Gaza war.
Yeah.
Like things, how small it is, this entering a new phase of peace in the Middle East. And now we're still arguing. Now let's open up the government and now find a way to extend these kinds of healthcare solutions.
Yeah.
That's been consistent.
Do you feel that there are other senators like you, friends of yours in the Senate, that you feel are independent-minded and open-minded and have that same sentiment that you do? Is it just leadership that is so dug in on fighting Trump?
I mean, for me, it's been very isolating, honestly. I mean, it's very similar like with Israel through this. Now, regardless of where the base might want, but I think it's the right thing that my kinds of positions are reasonable, because I'm not going to follow just a party line. I'm going to think, hey, independently, this is important, and I happen to believe that's true.
Senator, what you just said is really shameful on your colleagues. You feeling isolated, that is absolutely outrageous. You are a breath of fresh air. I know our viewers are grateful, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for your leadership.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for having me on.
Senator John Fetterman. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.